Y'all don't run shit in the street. The feds run this shit. Law enforcement run this shit.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. Reggie and John over at Bomb first brought CS2 back onto their YouTube channel yesterday, giving viewers the chance to ask whatever questions they wanted. Man, Porky really did himself a disservice this time. He told so many lies on Reggie's panel, I decided to break them down in segments instead of doing one long video. Today's segment is going to expose just how much of a liar CS2 back is. With everything that happened with Big U, it's impossible to ignore the hidden role Porky played in getting people to implicate Big U and themselves in multiple crimes. We already know Porky's been working, which is why today we're going back to CS2 back. Now Porky is admitting that the CS2 back paperwork is authentic. This comes after Deuce pointed out that Officer Greg Kading never claimed the paperwork was fake. Because of that, Porky decided to abandon his lie about Deuce making fake work and adding back to it. Instead, he created a new lie and put it together with his original lie. The new lie is that Deuce made fake work and put his real name, Cash Jones, in it, and he merged that with his original lie, which was that CS2 back was just a low-level drug dealer and that he himself doesn't sell drugs. The problem with Porky's original lie is that the paperwork doesn't say anything about CS2 back being a low-level drug dealer. The only reason Porky is lying like this is to cover up the fact that he's actually CS2 back, the federal informant.
Man, I remember you, man. Reggie Wright and Wack100, can you please explain to the goofballs the Dale Dog case was a state case, not federal? Correct.
Dale Dog was a state case
Yes.
involving all main streets.
The reason Porky emphasizes all main streets, the way he just did, is because he's trying to distance himself from the speculation. Porky wants people to believe that only main streets were involved in this case. And by making it clear that he wasn't directly from Main Street, he's attempting to convince people that he couldn't have been involved. A typical tactic of Porky's used to deflect attention and create a narrative that separates him from any direct ties.
Yes.
Right? Some other shit they threw me in that I was never arrested, never had nothing to do with. One Main Street took the stand on 7 or 8 main streets. All you got to do is go pull the work up.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, it was a state case held in CCB court. Well, I'm going to keep it real. Dude, when it took the stand in front of the whole L.A., the whole court with streetmen and Muslims, dude walked in that motherfucker, took the stand in front of everybody for about 4 or 5 months and walked out and jumped in his Rolls Royce and drove off.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
I remember Captain Will. You know Captain Will, FOI.
Yeah.
Brother Will.
Yeah.
Brother Will called me and was like, yo, Wax, can you talk to him? I said, bro, talk to him about what? He's fully aware of what he's doing. He's doing it in front of y'all.
Yeah.
What you want me to tell you?
Could you explain his relationship? I know the answer to this, but a lot of people get him mixed up and calls him Farrakhan's nephew. Could you explain their relationship?
That is Farrakhan's nephew. That's not a lie.
That's by the sister, right? I know. I'm saying I know it. I'm just want you.
No, his dad's his father's sister.
Yeah, something about a sister. I know. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, his father's sister is Farrakhan's wife. That's not a lie. That's true.
Scandalous Los Angeles. So you asking me to he told you, I'll get you and your boyfriend on the phone. You know who I call your boyfriend. And we'll call him. And he said he'll get you on the phone with Mark Stevens.
You gotta give Reggie an E for effort, because he sure acts like he's protecting Porky. Reggie and Porky both know we don't have to get on the phone with Mark Stevens or Stutterbox. We have all heard both of their testimonies, and both of them said Porky was CS2 back. I want you guys to listen close to what Porky says next, because he completely switches the narrative that he was running before, which is more proof that he is indeed CS2 back.
Now here
And
it
Mark
goes.
Stevens.
This is the thing, right? This is the thing. If you go read the real paperwork, not the fake shit dude made. He made a fake document where he started putting my real name in it. He made a fake document where he started putting my real name in it. He made a fake document where he started putting my real name in it. If you read it, it says CS2 back. If you read it, it says CS2 back.
Do you guys understand what just happened? Porky just told me that I need to go read the real paperwork, not the fake one that Deuce allegedly made. Porky claimed that Deuce created some fake paperwork and put his real name, Cash Jones, in it. But here's where it gets interesting. Porky then starts telling me what the real paperwork says. He says, it says CS2 back. This is Porky, in front of the entire world, admitting that the CS2 back paperwork is authentic, just like Greg Kading said it was. But that's not even the funny part. The real kicker is that after we released the audio of Greg Kading saying Porky was back, Porky accused Deuce of making fake paperwork. However, when he said this, he didn't mention Deuce putting his real name in it. Instead, he claimed Deuce created fake paperwork and just added back to it.
He's winning credit, some fake work, and add some back shit. You don't see that, use a bozo. I'm done talking about this shit. He's winning credit, some fake work, and add some back shit. You don't see that, use a bozo. I'm done talking about this shit.
But this is what's retarded. If you gonna add something, why wouldn't you just put my real name? If you gonna add some shit and you want to make it believable, just put my real name. Why the fuck would you put something in there that say it sounds like your real name? Like, this is crazy. Dude said, actually, we got the clip. He said, I went and pulled the paperwork myself. Same docket number right here. There is no fucking clause in there with a CS2 back mention. You added that to your paperwork.
Now, fast forward to today. Porky is openly admitting that the real, authentic paperwork actually says CS2 back, which directly contradicts his earlier claims that Deuce added back to it. So now, on Reggie's panel, Porky has completely changed his story, essentially repackaging his lie, which only helps to expose him even further. The contradictions are piling up, and it's becoming clear that Porky can't keep his story straight.
If you read it, it says CS2 back is a low-level drug dealer who's in fear that if found out, his family will be harmed by the main streets. See, these are the things they leave out about this CS2 back dude, right? He's winning credit, some fake work, and add some back shit. Read it, it says CS2 back is a low-level drug dealer who's in fear that if found out, his family will be harmed by the main streets. See, these are the things they leave out about this CS2 back dude, right?
There is no fucking clause in there with a CS2 back mention. You added that to your paperwork.
I really hope you guys can see what's going on here. If you didn't believe Porky was CS2 back before, I hope you believe it now. Initially, Porky claimed that there was no clause in the paperwork mentioning CS2 back, and that Deuce was the one who added that detail. But now, Porky is contradicting himself, saying that the CS2 back paperwork is legit, and that it clearly states CS2 back was a low-level drug dealer. This should be enough to prove to the entire world that the CS2 back paperwork is real, and that Porky the Pyru is, in fact, CS2 back. Porky even told me directly to go read the paperwork, and I'd see that it says CS2 back was a low-level drug dealer. Now I'm just going to tell you all right now. The paperwork does not say that. Porky is lying again. He's a master at spinning stories, but the truth is clear. He's caught in his own web of lies.
I ain't never had a dope case in my life.
Yeah.
And if I was a dope dealer, best believe I wouldn't have been a low-level dope dealer. And best believe I don't have no family that I gotta worry about that live in the main streets. I'm not from Main Street. My neighborhood is probably about 18 miles from Main Street. 18 to 20 good miles. So if you go read it, but again, you probably a dude from Scandinavia or something who don't understand what you reading. You got to tell yourself, well, it gives a description of who this dude is and what he does in the streets. Does it fit my description?
Yeah.
Porky knows I'm not from Scandinavia. If I was, his empty spin attempts might actually work. So what I do next is I send Porky a $10,000 challenge, asking him to provide proof before all of Reggie's viewers that the paperwork said CS2 Back was a low-level drug dealer. You see, these are the uninterrupted lies Porky has been on Clubhouse telling for years. This is the reason he blocked Deuce on Clubhouse. Porky knows the kind of holes Deuce would poke through his lies. So he avoids him like the bubonic plague.
All right, Scandalous, this is your Reggie. Tell him I challenge him to $10,000 right now. You have to show it and put it in escrow. Everybody always talking about money, but you put it in escrow. And he said, I'll challenge right now on this live show us where is a CS2 was a low-level drug dealer. Ask him that, Reggie. Okay.
Go, this what he got to do, bro. Because the other Deuce M's created a whole fake document where all of a sudden it said Cash Jones. Like, it was crazy.
Okay.
But this is what's retarded. If you gonna add something, why wouldn't you just put my real name?
That's why you said the real one when you said it.
All you got to do is go pull it up under Liddell Rawls. That's Dale Dog name.
Okay.
Pull that document up under that paperwork, then read it. Fuck with this bullshit they got. You go pull up Liddell Rawls, right? And then read it.
We gonna get into some of these what you call it. I just read one page of the paperwork. I'm gonna read 2 more pages because Scandalous challenged them, and Reggie read it. $10,000 bet that Wack100 can't go through the paperwork and show him where it says that CS2 Back was a low-level drug dealer and a Main Street Crip. See, this is right here is why Scandalous was tricking that, we already tricked him out of 2,000. Scandalous trying to trick him out of 10. You know what I'm saying?
He wants the bag.
Yeah, Scandalous, he tried to bait the niggas so bad. Well, he know he CS2 Back, so he know the Scandalous was too sure of himself. He was too cocky, right? So
Correct.
Reggie read it, Wack listening, and it says CS2 Back. See, what Wack is reading, you see this stuff that's crossed out? Huh?
No, I'm listening to you dudes. You said, repeat that
Look
one more
at-
time for me.
Look at the thing at the screen. You see the paperwork that's crossed out, the part
Yeah, with the
that's-
line at the top in the right hand. Well, it'll be my right top corner with the X going. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, right. So right there, if I blow it all the way up, y'all should be able. No, that's as much as it go. It says CI2, confidential informant 2.
Wow.
Right?
Right.
And that's the low-level purchaser of crack cocaine, et cetera, right? You got a
Correct.
CI2, and then you got a CS2. So when
Ooh,
his
2
dumb
different
ass
names,
can't
huh?
read no paperwork, nigga gang goofy from when he was horny for content. You know what I'm saying? The nigga don't know how to read no work.
What really happened here is that Porky was spinning. He knows the difference between CS2 and CI2, and he saw that the entire section for CI2 was blacked out with a marker. So why would Porky read the crossed-out section, but completely miss the paragraph underneath it? That just happens to be about CS2 Back. But hey, it's all out in the open now. We're going to go through that paperwork, just like Porky told us to. And it's crazy, because every time we do exactly what Porky says, all we find are more lies from him. And the blame just keeps landing squarely on his shoulders. The truth is coming to light, and Porky's attempts to spin the story only make his lies more obvious.
So we thought we had one. You know what I'm saying? Scanners try to bamboozle the nigga. The nigga
Right.
talking about CS2 back was a low-level drug dealer and this and this and this and that, right? No, that's CI2 back. Right?
Right. I'm listening. Yeah.
So CS2 has provided reliable historical information concerning the Main Street Mafia Crip organization. In the history of Main Street, and shout out to the Main Streets, they got a lot of legendary niggas over there that was getting to that bag. Richie Rich, all kind of dudes, right? Dale Dog is one of the most known Main Street Mafia Crips that ever done it in South Central LA, right? Just the accomplishments he made coming up off the east side of South Central LA with his whole crew on. Nigga ain't on till my whole crew on, nigga. He did that. But anyway, CS2 has provided reliable historical information concerning Main Street Mafia Crip organization. Good luck to Wack talking about he didn't ever snitch on nobody. However, CS2 is only aware of certain aspects regarding the organization's criminal activities and narcotic distribution network. CS2 has no knowledge or information regarding the methods in which narcotics are being transported to the Los Angeles area and distributed to Main Street Mafia Crip gang members. Additionally, CS2 is unable to provide information regarding the narcotic customers, flow of narcotic proceeds, and methods that they are using to laundering their narcotic proceeds. CS2 is only able to identify a limited number of Main Street Mafia Crip gang members. Why would you say that it says CS2 back is a low-level drug dealer from Main Street Crip when it makes it clear with this definition he's only able to identify a limited number of Main Street Mafia Crip gang members? How you from Main Street, but you can't identify but a few Main Street Mafia Crip members? The nigga ain't from Main Street. That was one of the clues, you goofy ass nigga. Goofologist 101, nigga. CS2 is unable to provide specific information regarding the organization's extortion activities, methods of monetary collections and distribution of proceeds. CS2 is also unable to provide any information regarding the Main Street Mafia Crip organization. And we got one more page. So with other leaders of the other large gang organizations, CS2 is able to provide limited information regarding violent assaults committed by Main Street Mafia Crips, including shootings, burglaries, and murders. CS2 is unwilling to testify in court against members of the Main Street Mafia Crip because CS2 is fearful of retaliation against CS2 and or CS2's family. CS2 believes that if any member of the Main Street Mafia Crip criminal organization becomes aware of CS2's cooperation with law enforcement, the organization will likely orchestrate the execution of CS2.
Porky tried to create this narrative that CS2 back was a Main Street Crip, but we've just found out that was a lie. He also tried to push the idea that he wouldn't have to worry about his family being harmed by anyone, because they don't live on Main Street. But the paperwork tells a completely different story. It clearly states that CS2 Back refused to testify because if anyone from Main Street found out he was working, they'd quickly arrange for his execution. What's more, CS2 Back specifically mentioned that if anyone from Main Street found out, and he just so happened to live right across the street from Stutterbox, who was from Main Street, he'd be in serious trouble. Porky was afraid that if Stutterbox found out, he'd either come kill him, or he'd expose where Porky and his wife were living, putting them both in danger.
So, does it say anywhere in about CS2, did y'all see anything that said something about a low-level drug dealer about CS2? Not CI2, CS2. Anything about a low-level drug dealer, or just this declaration that this confidential source is a Main Street Mafia Crip member? No. In fact, everything in there seems to indicate that he has limited information about who the Main Street is, how the insides of how they're laundering their money, where their dope is delivered, but he was able to give them a limited amount.
You can't give me an AKA. I ain't never been a back.